Hello, all of you wonderful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Scardev. Working on our custom tabletop RPG system that we've been working on for a very long time now, and tonight I'm about to be tortured by a pair of dragons. Hence, I brought out Squirrel. It is multifaceted appropriateness. You know, he is dragon. He also, likes to forge armor, and they're going to be torturing me with armor proposal and math and such. So, yes, it is a wonderful title, Merle. So yeah, I guess we'll start with, send me a link to whatever it is that you're gonna be, I need to...
Don't worry, you're already an editor on it.
Oh, lovely. Oh, God, what the
It's
I cannot appropriately portray my feelings at this time due to monetization.
I'd love to see what is terrifying you so.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, here.
My goodness.
Who wants to see it? I'll share it around.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
I'm watching
cool.
Sim stream. I can see it. I understand.
Hey, you've seen my spreadsheets. His is way cleaner than my madness. At least it is in the right order.
It's cleaner, but the numbers.
Hold on.
Oh God, there's more tabs!
Yes, you should look at T3 versus ED and also the armor stats tab and start scrolling.
We needed to cross-compare against a wide variety of ranges, so that way we could make sure that everything was properly balanced for the level they're supposed to be for and failed at higher levels.
Yeah.
Just
This is not that bad at all.
think of it this way. Sim. They have ensured the balance of the armor system so thoroughly that it'll work. There's
Except
no
for
way
HP.
it can't.
We held off on doing HP because HP very specifically is one of those things where it's either fun or it's not. You can't exactly mathematics that.
I mean, you can, but you can't mathematics the feeling of it. Don't worry, you should scroll down a little bit. It'll help you.
Okay,
Go to like line 45 of the armor stat sheet. This is what I did to make sure that you could understand. It's by tier.
Okay, so you weren't kidding when you said this was draconic torture. I can hear your pain.
Okay.
So, a good place to start will be explaining all of the things here on armor stats, so that way you understand the base thing. I'm just going to start talking about it. Obviously, PN is physical negation.
Okay, where should I be looking?
Just look at armor stats and then look at tier 1 armors.
Okay.
So, obviously we have the little key. I posted it on the side, so that way, you can always just see it. But PN, physical negation. SN, special negation. Soak is just soak. AHP is armor health points. Era. Alright, AHP is armor health points. SP is the skilled penalty. NP is the non-skilled penalty. MP is the movement penalty. And EP is the evasion penalty. So what I did is I went ahead and color-coded it so that way physical is very light red, special is very light blue, and balanced is very light purple, which is the mix of red and blue. So the reason why I did that is just so that way at a glance when you're looking at tables, you're able to tell if you're looking at a line that is physical armor, special armor, or balanced armor.
Okay.
Tier 1...
Real quick.
Yep,
Deadshot, the dragons chose to cook this up, and I thought they hoarded gold too, not mathematics.
I do have 375,000 egg coins.
How do you think we got so good at keeping gold coins? We have to
Also,
be able
yeah.
to math all that nonsense.
I mean, yeah, like
We
why
found
would
Texas
we
too,
risk it
man.
not? Yeah.
That is very true.
All right, but within each tier, I also went ahead and sectioned it out to being light, medium, and then heavy. So that way you're able to see, like, as the table goes down, the heavier the armor. So we have 4 tiers. Tier 1 is supposed to be like your basic starter stuff. It helps, but it's not exactly like the best quality. Tier 2 is for more like standard. This would be like the sort of stuff that like a town guard at a fairly like medium to large sized town would have. That's the intent of this. This is more of your mid game. This is intended to be gained around attribute 20 or so. That's where we mathed it to balance it. About attribute 20. Attribute 30 is about where things such as tier 3 armors come in, which are supposed to be like, you know, like the elite magical armors that like are very good and you're happy to have. Like you are excited to get tier 3 armor. And tier 4 armor is just straight up legendary. This tier 4 armors are intended to be absolutely legendary mythic level like items. They are generally going to be better than a heavier stage tier 3 armor. So for example, light balanced is about as good as medium balanced tier 3. While also having the same negatives as light. If that puts it into perspective.
Okay, yeah. I see that.
Yep. So what me and Era went ahead and did is checking against the physical negation, special negation soak of each of these on every single tiers 1 through 3. We didn't really care about tier 4 because that's supposed to be legendary bullshit. It doesn't have to be balanced. But for 1 through 3, we made a tab for each thing, which is going to be tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 versus the expected damage. For tier 1s, we checked for power 12, 18, and 24. For tier 2, we checked 12, 18, 24, and 30. And tier 3, we checked 12, 18, 24, 30, and 36. The reasoning behind this is that tier 1 is generally supposed to be checked against power 12, because that is the reasonable amount of power that a attribute 10 level character can output, like when they really try. And so, for example, tier 1 is intended to be against power 12, tier 2 is intended to be against power 18, tier 3 is intended to be against power 24, and also power 30. So that was our philosophy for determining the balance of it.
Okay.
In addition to all of that, let me explain what each of the columns are here in the tier calculations versus expected damage. Difficulty 5, AHP. Difficulty 5 is obviously like the damage coming in, so this is if you're double weak to something. Like this is if you are like, you know, for example, I know that Mythic Earth type is double weak to Steel. So this is if a Steel type move was used against a Mythic Earth type Metal. And they are wearing light physical armor. And then there's also a category for if the damage is physical and if the damage is special. And AHP is the armor's HP, and the normal HP is the HP of the wearer. So, for example, with a light physical armor set against a physical attack at power 12, your armor is expected to take 1 HP damage, and you're expected to take 6. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm following so far.
Alright. So our main balance was obviously around difficulty 7, as that's like our standard. But we decided to go ahead and make it so it's for 5, 6, as well as 8 and 9, because those are the standard difficulties based on types. So what we wanted, at least for our expectations and what we thought was like a good thing, is for each of these, we wanted it to be that against difficulty 7, you need to be wearing heavy armor if you're not expected to take any health damage. So if you look, even the correctly typed medium armors you are expected to at least sometimes take HP damage. The reason we didn't round these is because we wanted to be able to see like the true math numbers of it. So that way we could be sure that what we're doing is not going to be fucked up by rounding. So what we're looking at here is, for example, on Diff 7, like all this stuff, you are always expected to at least take some level of HP damage until you get to heavy armors. We feel like that is a very good bonus to have for heavy armors, is that against things like on their level, you are not expected to take HP damage in exchange for the fact that, like, you know, you're wearing heavy armor and are taking all those malices.
Okay.
Yep. We also made sure that, like, to check a stage or two above where the armor is expected to be, for the reasoning of, oh, hey, like, what happens if your character is wearing outdated armor, effectively? Or a boss is attacking you, and you're in tier 1 armor. And they're able to use, like, an 18 power attack. So, one thing that I definitely like about it is that, for example... Go ahead.
Era?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you say Varian is, like, calculus teacher?
No, they do HVAC.
Okay.
That's Vari. Yeah, that's Vari. Yeah. So he knows some math, but not this kind of math.
Okay. Never mind, carry on.
Okay.
I was going to yell at Varian, be like, I need your help.
Okay, but one thing that I really liked about how, like, we calculated it and it came out is that, especially for tier 1, you are expected to not take damage if you have a correctly typed heavy armor, but not if you have balanced. I feel like that is it. Like, tier 1 is currently like our gold standard. Really happy with it. Very good overall, in my opinion. Important things to note is that if you're wearing light armor and you are, even if you have correctly typed and you double resist, you're still expected to take some HP damage.
Yeah.
So that is definitely good if you want to be expected to not take HP damage at all. You need to be double resistant and wearing medium armor. For example.
Okay.
For the next stage. You are also able to... Yeah, go ahead.
I feel the need to back up a little bit.
Yes.
The armor stats.
Yes.
So, physical negation, this is the amount that, like, you're taking a physical attack, it reduces the damage by that much, right?
Yes, just straight up. Just reduces damage by that amount.
Okay. Then you've got the soak, which I believe is how much damage the armor will actually take for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, per attack.
Okay. And then, of course, it's got its own HP pool.
Yep.
Skill penalty, I understand that. Non-skilled, good. Movement penalty, good. Evasion penalty, good. Now, with the proposal,
Yes.
does integrity come before or after armor?
After.
Okay. Wait, what'd you say, Era?
After.
Okay.
It's after, yeah.
Good. Good. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Because basically, especially like if you think about it in like layers or steps, the armor would be hit first, and it needs to see if it gets through the armor. After that, like when you look at the charts, like the HP damage, that is the expected amount, but it's not factoring in any sort of integrity. So, for example, if you're wearing armor and have good integrity, you're probably not likely to take more than chip damage, but you'd still be taking the chip damage, and your armor's HP would be going first.
That also requires that you literally invest in heavy armor and then invest in your integrity to be a tank.
Yeah. Which is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like, tanky characters are able to, with this system, be extremely tanky, but they have to invest in it, and they have to eat the penalties and trade-offs that they get for doing that. Like, for example, if you're wearing heavy armor, you're not going to be able to evade attacks, and you're going to be slow, and you are going to, like, basically be awful at things like stealth, and athletics, and other various applicable skills. But in a fight, you're going to be extremely tanky. So, if you, one thing that is expected is that if you double resist and are wearing correctly typed heavy armor, you are expected to take no damage, either on your armor or on your HP. Obviously, that is not sacrosanct because, you know, tens exist.
Yes.
But this is the expectation.
Yeah. Is AKA base damage, not critical damage.
Yeah. Speaking of for
One
critical
moment.
damage.
Deadshot, both of them are GMs. They are both storytellers on the channel. Taldarius runs a Pathfinder game on Sundays and one of these Scar games on Saturdays. And Era, the other dragon, runs a game, Pathfinder game every other Saturday. I don't know if you two can see the chat, but Deadshot saying, "This is so well thought out, I'm scared what would happen if these dragons were GMs."
Come watch and find out.
Watch.
Eldarius builds a bunch of stuff. I wrote a 43-page setting doc in a week. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
I
still
hope,
need to read that.
just for reference, I've been working on this for about only 3 days.
I spat out the concept in 5 hours.
Yeah. And then all of this math and everything came about 3 days, yeah. But yes, for tier 1 armor, the expectation is that if you want to take no damage expectation, that you need to be wearing correctly typed heavy armor and be double resistant. Other than that, you are always expected to take at least some armor HP.
Okay.
Besides that, if you're weak to something as well and you don't want to take HP damage, you have to be wearing heavy armor. At least expectation. In this case, heavy balanced armor is particularly good. However, with armor degradation, it is going to be very good at that. However, it does have a side negative where if you're double weak to something, you're still expected to take HP damage, unlike correctly typed armor if you're double weak to it. So if you look, if you can look at my highlights. Are you able to see these? Like what
Yes.
I'm highlighting? All right. If you look here, that's what I'm talking about, where you see how if it's a correctly typed heavy armor, you're expected to take no HP damage, but with balanced and you're double weak, you are still expected to take damage.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's basically like a trade-off happening where if you have balanced armor, it's much more well-rounded. However, if you have specialized armor, obviously it's way better against the thing it's specialized against, and way worse against things that it's not. Which I think is very healthy overall. Like, at least, like, for the design in the game.
Yeah.
And
I am
thankfully
liking-
enough. Go ahead.
I am liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yes. If we go ahead and move over to Tier 2, I think Tier 2 will be a good place to move over to next. There are two really important charts here that we're going to need to look at. One is obviously the power 18, which is where it's intended to be. However, it's also very important to see what happens if, let's say, a NPC or even a player gets access to Tier 2 armor while still being at, like, the power 12 level. So, one important thing that happens is if a character gets access to Tier 2 armor while they are not rated to have it, but, like, let's say, like, as a good reward for something, you can even see that difficulty 9 double resist, correctly typed light armor, or even general light armor, stops taking HP damage. And medium armors on difficulty 7 are also not expected to take damage. And heavy is extremely difficult to get through. Obviously, this is a very worrying box, but this is for the heaviest of armors that are a tier above what that person should be fighting, so that's very concerning, but also honestly might be a good thing that it's like that. What do you think about the double resist heavy balanced armor that's a tier above?
I am liking it. It makes sense. It definitely going to need to put in notes that storytellers should make sure that people are, getting appropriate armor.
Yep.
Or let them and bring out the big guns they can't defeat. Both work.
Yeah. But it's like, make sure that they're doing it knowing what's going to happen. But yes. Note that even if you're a level above, like in terms of tier, and you have correctly typed heavy armor, you still are not expected to be, like, immune until you also resist it.
I do like that.
And if you have incorrectly typed heavy armor, no matter how resistant you are and you're a tier above, you still are expected to take damage. If it's the thing that you're not armor spec'd against.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now down to power.
Demon, yes. Armors will have types-ish. It's more, armors are specialized for physical, special, or a little bit of both for, what they protect best against.
Yes.
Kind of reflecting actual real life armor, You got a prime example that Era has brought up, and, a lot of us know is Kevlar vests. they're really good at protecting against bullets, not so good against protecting against knives. Or actually outright terrible. But
Yeah.
Well, and in my campaign thing, I even bring up like ballistic versus energy for resistances.
I have
Yeah.
rules for that.
Yeah, but this is important. Another important thing to note is that all of this, everything that you see, is with the standard baseline of what a tier 1 light physical armor should be, for example, or a tier 2 medium balanced armor should be.
one sec. I realize that is not fully correct, guys. The point is, please do not get pedantic on this. I realize it's not fully correct on what I said, but it's an example to kind of guide what we're talking about here.
But so also everything that you see here is more of a range of things. So for example, like, the difference between like tier 1 and tier 2 medium balanced armor is that tier 1 medium balanced armor has 1 physical and 1 special negation and only 3 soak, while medium balanced has 2 in terms of the negations and 5 soak. You could have like armor that's considered tier 1 medium balanced but has 2 physical negation and 2 special negation but doesn't have the soak to reach the level of medium balanced tier 2. Or you could even have armors that sacrifice certain things and go, all right, my general stats are going to be lower, however, it'll have a special effect that against physical ranged attacks, I'm going to be extra good. If that makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah, for tier 2, power 18 calculations. A lot of it correctly mirrors what the on-level tier 1 versus power 12 calculations looked like, where on difficulty 7, you only get immune to HP damage, expected HP damage, when you're using heavy armors. And if you want to be expected to take no damage, you have to have correctly typed heavy armor. So, if you look at it, it's mirroring pretty closely what tier 1 looks like for on-brand. As for what happens when it starts getting outclassed, then what ends up happening is that incorrectly typed heavy armor, you start being expected to take HP damage directly. And even if you have correctly typed heavy armor and double resist, you start becoming expected yet again to take armor damage.
And of course, the more armor damage you take, the less
grading
effective.
stats.
Yeah. Hey, Varian.
Tier 2 is a little bit better against, like, higher rated damages than Tier 1 is, but I feel like that is a good and healthy thing because Tier 2 is, like, supposed to represent the first good set of armor that you get. Because, like, you can have, like, your starter shit, where it's like, it's armor, it definitely functions. It's not awful, but Tier 2 is, like, when you get, like, a good set of armor. That, like, any guard or soldier would be happy to have. It's reliable, it's good. It's, like, it doesn't work that well against the heavyweights, but it still does its job.
So, Tier 1 is,
Starter
like
gear.
hide armor. Tier
Yeah.
2 is closer, for light at least, it's closer to studded leather or such.
Yeah. It'd be closer to a brigandine, yeah.
Yeah. I'm using D&D,
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, that's sort of like the intent. And then tier 3 is obviously where it starts getting elite. So let's go ahead and look at what happens if you get, like, elite level armor.
Thank you for the shout out, Zim.
Of course, you're a good boy.
Alright, so for tier 3 armor, let's look at what happens if, like, you know, peons try to attack you while you're wearing tier 3 armor. Obviously, this is extremely nasty to look at, but you gotta remember this is armor that's 2 tiers above where the character's supposed to be. It's just important to look at it to know what happens. So, first off, if you're wearing medium armor or above, you are expected to take no HP damage even if you're double weak. Or even if you are, like, obviously, if you're, for neutral damage, for correctly typed medium armor, you're also expected to take no damage on your armor or your health. And if you double resist, well, funnily enough, it actually has just about the same effects for incorrectly typed medium armor and incorrectly typed heavy armor. It's just that they have, like, better, like, health pools and the like.
Yeah, I see that.
Because, yeah, it's generally, like, this is nasty to look at, but this is how it should be, in my opinion. It's pretty much the same thing going down to power 18. It's just, you know, you're slightly more effective, but, like, if you look, like, the bottom right, double resist, heavy balance, still, you're expected to take no damage. So, it's generally... It's about the same thing, just less extreme. And then, if we get down to power 24, tier 3 armor is a little bit different, is because tier 3 is kind of split between supposed to be going against power 24 and power 30, because this is attribute 30 to 40 characters. But it's not a guarantee that even if you're, like, you know, like, extremely endgame level character, that you'd have a tier 4 armor set. Which is why it's important to know why and how this works.
Yeah, I'll put in there that they are meant to be legendary rarities, so...
Yeah. And another reason, I don't know if you noticed, but it goes up by 6 every single time, which is also an important thing, is because it means that you're able to see, while scrolling, what the expected result is against, like, someone that is of tier 1 character, for example, and they boost their stats to the maximum of +6 on their temporary stuff. On their temporary stat changes, for their damages. So, if, in order to see what a character that has, you know, their damages, like, maxed out literal max potential that they could have, all you gotta do is scroll down to the next chart. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but, like, you know. If you want to see what a tier 1 10 attribute character looks like, fighting tier 1 armor, but having their stats maxed out at, like, +6 physical damage, all you gotta do is go down to the power 18 graph on tier 1. And then you're able to see what that looks like. That's why this is laid out in the way that it is. And why we went both above and below. Because it'll also show what happens if they're nerfed down to -6.
Well, the problem with that is the fact that damage isn't influenced by that right now. The temporary
No. For your stat changes.
Oh, that's what... Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah, so you see why, like, I did it this way and why that matters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it goes above and below where it's expected to fight, on standard because the 6s also are for figuring out, oh, hey, you know, if they +6 or -6, where are they going to be at? So, like, you know that if, oh, hey, you're on level for tier 3 armor, and you're supposed to be putting out power 24 moves, but you get hit with -6s, what's your damage chart going to look like for expected damages against various armors? Here it is. Because that is a very prescient, like, gameplay situation that can happen. But in terms of power 24 and power 30 for tier 3, what this basically does is, obviously, tier 3 is very good against power 24, but not as much against power 30. It's a little bit of a trade-off thing. But that's because tier 3 is supposed to be, like, you know, the late game armor, and this is where it stops being as quite as hard numbery, because tier 3 armor is supposed to span from basically you get to, like, attribute 30, and then you just straight up, like, keep using it until you get your hands on a legendary set. Which I didn't bother mathing out, because legendary, congratulations, it's broken. You don't need to see the chart to know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the defining trait of it being called legendary.
Hi,
Yeah.
Tanya.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Tanya. Yes, legendary is supposed to be absolute bullshit, so we just ignore
Yeah.
it.
Yepper. So, what are you thinking now that you've gotten, like, the run-through, the philosophy, and you're able to, like, literally just see in front of you what it looks like? And it's color-coded and all that.
I am very much liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's all definitely making sense. It seems well balanced. And, like, even though, you know, they're gonna be taking no damage to the armor, or to themselves with the heavy armor, that's kind of intentional because, well, they gotta get through the armor before they actually do damage to you.
Yes, and one thing to remember is that when your armor gets broken, you're still considered to be wearing it, which means you get the negative effects.
Also, an armor degradation, if it's fully accepted and implemented, means that at some point it's going to start failing earlier anyways.
Yeah.
What do you mean by armor degradation?
Based on the current HP versus the max HP of it.
Armor loses its effectiveness as it breaks.
Yeah, as it gets down to like half of its max, it loses some of its effectiveness. That was in Era's proposal.
Real quick, for Raijin, Jet, I believe, is 2 foot even. I believe that Dart is proper size for a Rockruff. And I think, if I remember right, Dart is 1'8", Jet is 2 foot, and then I believe that Vector is somewhere in between the two. Tald might be able to correct me on that.
Honestly, I don't remember what your heights are off the top of my head.
Yeah, I
Hi,
don't.
Wes. How you doing?
I definitely know that Dart is very, very heavy.
Dart is heavy.
I think Dart's like 60 pounds.
Yeah, he's like 60.2 pounds or something like that.
And Vector is lighter, much lighter than Dart, and then Jet is lighter than Vector. Or did I say Jet is lighter than Vector?
You said Jet is lighter than Vector, yeah.
Okay. I believe that Vector is regular weight for a Rockruff, but Jet is, I believe, around 15 pounds-ish. He's not that much lighter than an average Rockruff, but he is lighter. Actually, no, I think he's about 10 pounds, somewhere around there.
Also, a variant, yes, that is intended. However, it's going to be a lot it's going to be more expensive and less effective than health healing.
So somebody fixing an armor on the tank live in battle is kind of funny. And I may or may not allow such nonsense.
Yeah. Well, no, any move that you are able to use on yourself, you're able to spread to use on allies in the area. So yeah, if you have a move that is self and it heals your armor, you're also able to heal the armor of those around you instead of yourself.
Yeah, and I'm not fond of the self-only target stuff. It's like, why? Why not allow it to be used on others?
It also does have like a funny thing of basically like also allowing the negotiation of going, no, this like only sell for this. If someone wants to do that. But yeah, no. That is an actual capability that people will have variant. It will just be a lot it will be a lot more expensive and less effective than doing just normal health healing.
As far as that goes, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it so moves can do that. I'm feeling like armor repair in combat will probably... I mean, I could see it being a feat that you can get if you've got, you know, craft and the something relevant to that for specialty. But as far as a move itself, I don't think we're going to have that. But we may have, like, temporary armor points or something along those lines. Probably
maybe
not.
Probably not. What I was more thinking is that, like, you know, individuals could, like, be, like, it would be, like, very expensive. Like, for every single, like, individual 1 armor HP you heal.
Yeah, probably. Either way, it'll probably fall in the magic system when we get that.
Yeah.
As far as, you know...
The one thing that I would like to caution of why I want it to be a thing with, like, moves or other things like that is for the sci-fi. Because I'm also now considering a bunch of things in relation to sci-fi.
I can see that. We could include a feat for allowing healing moves to affect armor or something along those lines.
Maybe we're gonna have to be careful with that though, especially if it's if we have, like, you know, healing be like roll d10 check face value. Because if we have that and it's on armor, congratulations, someone has a one-time heal move and their heavy armor is back at max HP.
Yeah, I'm not sure the best way to handle this.
Yeah, well, we could discuss that a little bit more later. Right now, this is just more of the armor system. It, like, I think it looks good. I'm really loving it. What about you?
I'm liking it.
Can I just put the head or cannon out there of a smith running into a battlefield, going up to the tank, hitting him with a hammer, and running away?
Yes. Yes, you may.
Because that is what I'm thinking.
We're just gonna go Deathwing with this and just, you know, the smith runs in with a, you know, red hot plate of armor, just nails it onto their hide directly and then runs off.
Oh, we're going that far. Okay. Scroll of summoning blacksmith kobold. Yes, please.
No, battlesmith kobold.
Oh, battlesmith.
Battlesmith, yeah. But, yeah, so I think I'm pretty happy with this, and I think my next project is probably going to be putting together weapon keywords and the like.
Do you want me to share the spreadsheet I already started?
Yes, please, because I was already looking at my own shit, so...
I was considering running a game, and the first thing I said to myself was, I'm going to need keywords, like, tomorrow. So I started it.
Ah, yes, cool. I was actually already looking through a couple of my old things for inspiration on it, so...
Also toss me
All
your
right.
email so I could just give you editing.
Yeah, it's just taldirius@gmail.com.
I'll
I don't have a
send
complicated
mine as
email.
well. So next up, I think we should work on weapons.
Yep, that's why I was going to start doing keywords.
For the record, they are called traits for, armor and weapons.
Well, yeah, but
But
I'm just going to say keywords because it's... Instead of saying armor traits and weapon traits right now, I'm just going to keep saying keywords. It's just a habit.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. I'm just using keywords for now because my brain needs to think that way for the time being. We can switch naming conventions later.
Yeah. Also, Gimmon, just so you know, there is a reason that both me and Era agree that we could only be around each other so much, because this will continue to happen.
So yeah, we will be we'll be working on weapon and armor traits. I do want the base stats for weapons sooner rather than later.
I'm going to try to have it to you by Thursday.
Another thing that I, of course, want would be partial armor rules.
Yeah, that's more going to be your wheelhouse of figuring out, because that's more flavor than number.
Fair.
That's more your wheelhouse, because basically, like, all you need to do for that is go, oh, hey, I have on this armor and this armor. This armor has this AHP and has, like, no negation but 1 soak. And then I have on this other piece of armor, which has its own little mini stat line. And then depending on where, like, you get hit, you can have different effects happen or whatever. However you want to do it, like, the numbers are easy to play with in order to make it work. It's just more you figuring out the actual rules and flavor.
You figure out the rules and flavor, we figure out the math for your rules and flavor.
So Raijin, as far as that goes, she would have had minions in a custom version of Alchemy. It would have been one of those regional form kind of things.
Yeah.
But she's not playing Jolene anymore, so...
He has moved on to play Sin. A Mawu.
Yes, Gib Gab. The dragons are torturing me.
Also, the square root of 7 is around 2.65. I mean, I think it's actually like 2.64575, and then I don't remember after that.
Oh my god. You know what? I'm not going to question it.
What?
Why you have that memorized? But it's you. So it makes sense. And I hate it.
So I'm seeing a lot of neat keywords.
Raijin, I have no idea if Colada had anything in particular in mind on that. Sorry.
Yeah, you might just want to message them and ask. Okay, do I still have my... I do. Beautiful.
Okay, I think before I get into writing all this into the doc, I am going to go put some food in. Because I haven't eaten yet today. I'm going to pick up my emotional support panda and settle him into my lap.
Meow wow.
And give him little scritches under his chin. And then we'll get to work on writing this in. I did want to go over rules for teleportation as well.
Alright. Alright.
Well, I did actually... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was muted.
Oh, okay. Era, do you want me to go ahead and just shoot over a couple of, particularly just from, various games that I played? Do you want me to go ahead and shoot over a couple of,
Just toss them in. This was all brainstorming so far. I haven't gone through to clean it up. I didn't know I was muted, so apparently you missed the part where I said these aren't fully brained out yet. They're just I just literally sat down and threw at the paper until I ran out of ideas and burnt out.
Yeah, okay.
To understand how to do square roots really quickly, Gibgab, excuse me, it's really hard to brain this in English words, but basically take the difference between the two closest neighbors that have a whole number and use that as a starting point, and then just go down the list multiplying them. Yep. So because 4 is 3 away from 7 and 9 is 2 away from 7, those are the closest ones. You just got to understand that it's going to be somewhere around 2.5 to begin with, and it's going to be slightly higher, so you go up by 0.1 until the math fails.
Yeah, I just happen to know ones like the square root of 7 and this and all that because I like the thing that it does where it's 2.64575. 4575, all that. I just like it when it does shit like that. It had more at the end of it that I liked, but I don't remember that part off the top of my head.
But yeah, and you can do that with just about any mathematics out there. So when you're looking at doing estimates usually do. But yeah.
All right, let me go ahead.
Does Windows Calculator have a square root button? Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, so it does.
I never used Windows Calculator.
I do, but that's usually when I'm doing math problems with several digits, and I'm just like, brain won't remember 7 sets of numbers at once, so calculator, come here.
Ah, that's fair.
Hither. I also like to double check myself, but I only do basic things. I do all the hard stuff myself.
Yeah. So I do see that there's superior and inferior already. Do you have ones where it's things such as reliable and unreliable?
I have durable and flimsy.
Yeah. Well, when I say reliable and unreliable, I mean in terms of
I do have reliable and volatile currently, right above here.
Okay, cool.
Right there.
Yeah, I see it now. Yep, you already have the equivalent of shoddy.
Bear in mind, we can always change these words too if you think.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fine.
I had thesauruses up.
Cool. What about one where it's bulky and... Wait, no, I think you already have one where it's lightweight, and then... Where was that? Light and heavy, okay.
Yeah, I just used general terms, but yes.
Yeah, okay. Rechargeable, renewing, costly, consumable, risky, volatile, reliable, incompatible. Requisite. So we should probably grab like a couple of basic weapon keywords, such as like it having reach.
Yeah, I didn't grab those because I thought they were already in the system, and I was going to grab that list from you guys at some point.
Yeah,
so if
we
you
didn't
wanna
actually
add
end up
those-
taking that yet. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought those already existed.
Yeah, no, we're intending on making those. We just hadn't. That was going to be the system. We just hadn't. Oh, whoops.
It's fine. Oops. There we go. Then you're gonna want close.
I'm gonna want what?
Close. If we got reach, you're gonna want close.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever word you want to use for that. Opposite of...
Yeah, what would be the opposite of reach?
Come here, Chat GPT. This is what I pay you for. To use English better than me.
Wait, you pay it?
Yeah, I like ChatGPT 4 because it's a little less stupid. So when I spit out... Because what I use ChatGPT towards is when my brain does the I'm going burr right now, it just barfs out things faster than I can, like, make it into English, which he can actually attest to. He's fixed my not English before. But now I just dump it into ChatGPT, and then it Englishes my stupid.
Not.
I feel like having one for fast and slow would be good, where multi-attack penalty changes by +1 or -1, depending on which one you have. So you can have a fast weapon or a slow weapon, like, for the example, if you have the difference between, like, a rapier or a warhammer.
You can toss that on, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are easily used for the boons for the multi-attack system.
Probably...
T-Rex, yes.
I don't know how expensive you want this to be, but I went ahead and threw in one for it being, like, unbreakable. I don't know if you actually want that, but, like, I feel like that could be, like, a very expensive thing for, like, tier 4 items.
I can see it existing. Yeah, it looks like ChatGPT is suggesting close as well, or close combat weapons.
Alright.
See it Englished by not English.
Because of consumer...
Here, be right back.
No, you already have dangerous equivalent with volatile. Limited ammo.
Okay. We have an armor heading. We are one step closer to adding this to the dock.
Neat.
The thing I learned in Dragon School is...
Lol.
Alright, should I grab the Gandalf images again?
How's all Fall's day going? Well, right now my brain is dead, Gip Gap. It has been destroyed. It has been ripped out of my head, stomped on, squished back in, and then blowtorched.
I'm gonna let Enja know that armor's coming.
I already did.
Ah.
I need more caffeine for this.
Caffeine would be nice, but I think we're out.
I am not out.
I don't need it. I'll just make something else. Hold on.
One of my favorite mega contractions is Yaldav.
Oh, you mean the one that Gip Gap just put in?
No, that's a different one. Yaldav is one that I particularly like because it means you all would have Yaldav.
I need to sleep.
Go to the sleep.
I know. I would like to stick around. But I wish you luck.
Paint will be sad.
Paint is going to go to bed with Last Lost.
Oh, okay. He will be ready to wake you up in the morning. Or in the middle of the night when he needs to go out.
Oh no, Paint has midnight zoomies.
Hey, he's got to play with his ball.
I'd sigh, but I'm sure Last Lost is used to it. Good night, everybody. You all have an excellent time. Please don't fry Zim's brain too hard.
Oh, it's already done.
I was about to say, it's probably well done. We're going to have to throw it away and get him a new one.
Can we do the body too?
Unfortunately, Dragon Magic hasn't gotten there yet. You have to grab one of the used bodies out of back.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it's not that much worse than what I've got.
Yeah, it might be mildly chewed. 'Good. 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 'Good.
Oh, hey, I just realized I don't need limited ammo and reload because you had rechargeable. Which I guess covers that.
A reload? It technically not.
Okay.
Recharge was going to be more or less like, you know how things have certain amount of slots a day.
Oh, okay.
I used rechargeable to indicate that it either automatically does that or needs a power source of some sort form. So that way, when you go into the Magi Tech stuff or the electronic stuff, based on the world I was going to build, you have to plug shit in sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I put in limited ammo and reload, because limited ammo is like, how many times you can use it, like use like a ranged weapon or something, or like, a specific kind of thing, before it is, no longer has ammo. And then reload is how many actions you need to use in order to reload it. So, like, for example, a cannon might have like a total reload of 4. So there needs to be a total of 4 reload actions done on it before it's ready to fire again. But a bow would probably have like a reload of 1 or maybe even 0.
Makes sense. This is just an idea sheet anyways, we can always clean it up later. I haven't even made tables out of it yet.
Yeah. Well, no, I can tell because there's only a single sheet and it's unnamed. That's how I know this is a random.
Yeah, this was just an idea dump. When I usually go back and clean it after I've got enough in there to the point where I feel like it's actually warrantable.
So what do you think about the things that I've thrown in here so far?
Deflection is good. That's one I missed. Disorientating is good. Penetrating and unbreakable are things that I didn't have yet, nor the farthest left. Accurate and inaccurate are good. Reload's fine because some things are going to need to be reloaded. Limited ammo, that's fine. That's probably gonna.
Yeah. Well, so some things could have like a limited ammo as one, but like especially in like more future settings, it be like, oh hey, this has a limited ammo rating of 10. That's how many times I can fire this thing before I need to reload.
Yeah.
Also, hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Alright, the introduction to the armor section. So, after an excruciating encounter with a pair of dragons, it was determined that perhaps you all would like to know about armor. Thus, this section of the equipment chapter was born. Here we will dive into the complexities and details of armor and how they protect your fragile flesh from attacks of all kinds.
If that doesn't make it to the end, I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah.
I am keeping this. This is permanent.
All right.
Good.
Oh, hey, just thought of something that would be good. Lethal and non-lethal.
Yes.
Basically saying, like, if it's a lethal weapon, no matter how much you try, you cannot deal non-lethal damage with it. And if it's non-lethal, no matter how much you try, you can't deal lethal with it.
I mean,
because with base rules,
makes
you can
sense.
automatically elect to do lethal or non-lethal damage.
Yep, I'm aware. I
So
just want
that's
to
why
make
this
the
is
joke that you can
particular.
choke somebody to death with a. I'm not going to finish the statement. That'll get the DOD
I was gonna
monetized.
make a bad joke too, but I didn't want to say it.
I feel like we can throw in one for sundering.
Yes. Because you're
So-
focusing on weapons. I was doing armor at the beginning and then moved into everything, as you can
Yeah.
see.
Well, yeah, no, but that's also why I'm focusing on weapons first, and then I'm going to focus on armor, and then.
We have checkboxes for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to use that in a bit, but the reason I started on weapons is obviously because that's what we're working on, but it's also the first column.
E. Did you want me to change it into tables now?
Nah, we can change it into tables later.
Okay.
This is literally a spitball sheet currently, so like burr, you know.
Burr.
Burr. So I'm just gonna quickly. It was bothering me that mundane, even though like it's spelled wrong, I could deal with it being spelled wrong, but it had the E cut off. So I had to fix that.
Oh, I did misspell it. Oh well. Right, the
Oh,
sheet
well.
was just for me until now.
Yeah.
You're gonna find a lot of spelling errors in here because reasons.
Yeah. Well, no, I already noticed. I didn't care. I'll care when we actually like migrate stuff over.
No, and I'll create a cleaner sheet first. One I was considering was nullifying.
Nullifying would be good.
Yeah, I just didn't add it yet because I had hesitations.
Yeah.
But since this isn't just for me anymore, might as well.
So you could have nullifying. You could also go with one that does absorption, because there's a difference between the two.
Yes, there is. Should probably add bleeding.
Yeah, bleeding.
Or whatever that. What's a good word for that? Because I don't think we can use the actual word bleeding.
Why not?
Serrated, so you can serrate your hammer.
Oh my god.
Yes, serrate your hammer. You have made this bed, serrate it.
And don't forget to make your sword flaming.
Oh, we already have that.
Cauterizing?
Cauterizing would be for like a different thing, but
Well, yes, I
maybe
know. That's why I'm
okay.
surprised that ChatGPT suggested it.
Oh, okay. Just thought of another good one.
Well, backing up, why can we not use bleeding?
It's one that's used by Wizards of the Coast heavily. I tend to be careful around very overly commonly used words.
Well,
we can.
Bleeding
Yeah.
Bleeding is used in literally every
Yeah, it's
game.
used in like basically everything.
I mean,
but, you know.
I like to be different, damn it.
Being different for the sake of being different is not a good excuse.
I'm a punk, yes it is.
Good idea. One. Okay. One for exotic and one for common. In terms of the material makeup for determining like this is more or less expensive.
Some chat just suggested a really good word.
Oh, hemorrhaging? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Hemorrhaging's good.
I will say I will probably standardize these with industry standards.
That's fine. But we can have fun in the meantime.
Yes. I'm just making sure you're aware that I will most likely be doing that because we would rather people know, okay, bleeding is, they're bleeding out. That's a standard thing. Hemorrhaging, not
But it's
quite as clear.
Well, hemorrhaging is basically like considered like a greater form of bleeding anyways, but you know.
It's still more fun to say than bleeding. My weapon has bleeding. My weapon has hemorrhaging.
That is true.
Of course. the
Draining, because I don't
dragons
think I have that one yet.
Do you have a keyword for giving it AoE yet? Like a blast rating?
No.
Alright. Just throw in blast or something. Or explosive or whatever. Maybe just blast because it's
Yeah, blast would be better. Explosive kind of insinuates other things.
yeah. We could probably have one maybe guided, where it like basically does the same thing of bypass accuracy checks.
Life fluid leakage.
Life fluid leakage. Let's go. Let's go.
What is blood if not living oil?
Mattio, save me.
Yes.
Yes, I agree completely.
What was that, Sam?
Save me.
I can't. I'm working on our own little pet project.
Oh, what are you working on?
I'm working on the magic system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did add guided to the list.
All right.
I think that would be a restricted one because
Yeah.
reasons, but
Well, yeah, but that's that'd be more for like something like almost legendary, but also it'll be good for things in because I'm also thinking about things that work in sci-fi. Like you could have like lock on.
yeah, that's what I meant by restricted. That
Yeah.
literally feels like a sci-fi thing specifically. I
Yeah.
know that there's
Well,
spells that help
yeah.
you, but
There's spells that could go on it, or there could even be like you could like impart magic into an item to enchant it to give it so that way it like you think of a target and you fire it, and if it's within range, it'll like such as like I know that there's like in different fantasy settings there's like the concept of like
guided bolt.
like guided bolt, but also like a true name bullet, where it's like like a flintlock bullet, but it's like it has like someone's true name inscribed on it, so it can't miss them if it's fired at them. There's a bunch of different reasons that it could show up, so I think it's good to have it.
Yeah, it's fine to have it.
Yeah.
I didn't create a legendary tier in here, but that's because legendary is bullshit.
It's bullshit anyways, yeah.
So no reason to mark it. If it's bullshit, just leave the checkboxes empty. Everybody will know it's bullshit.
Everyone will know. Yeah, it's basically the equivalent of sure hit Stradivarian. You're able to put bypass accuracy on moves, so I also thought it makes sense to throw it in here.
Oh, I agree, Strato. Naps can definitely help.
I went ahead and put in one word, so I'm just going to call it setup for now, where like you have to basically like prepare it.
Thought I had something like that.
I didn't see one in there.
It might have been one of the ones that entered my brain, and then
Yeah.
something else came in front of it, and then just
there was one that I saw that was similar to it, which is activated, but that it means that you only act when it's made to act. It doesn't have like a requirement of saying you need to interact with this for X time or until it can be used.
Then it indeed got de-erased because I swear I put one in, but yeah,
Alright.
my brain probably got distracted.
Do you want to call it setup, preparation, or prepared, or what do you want to call it?
Prepared would probably be best for now.
All right, I'll
Just add a small note for anything confusing.
All right, I just put prepared / setup.
Yep, sounds good.
He dothings is mlemming everyone.
Here's a basic one I think we should probably throw in. One-handed or two-handed.
Yeah. Just to have them in the list.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in what I think is probably a couple. Good. Maybe just one for it being, like, something that you can brace. We have knock down. What about knock back?
Where's the Scartman's move list? I'm sure I can grab a couple of words out of there.
I used to Gib Gab. Live somewhere where they were 6 characters. Though I haven't had my own vehicle for a long time. Mostly because I've had no need for one. You know, when you really only need to leave the house like once a week, if that, kind of no point in spending a lot of, spending a lot of money on having a car.
Can you add impacting to the list?
Impact? Sure.
Yeah.
Do we then want to do hack and pierce, or maybe not pierce, but like, what would be a good thing for pierce?
Hold on, I'll...
Impale.
Yeah, that sounds good. For now, at least.
Yeah.
But yes, just for the weapons that are specifically designed to do more damage.
Yeah, so like a Warhammer would have impact, an axe would probably have hacking, and then like, a spear would probably have impale.
Yeah. I guess we should also add ranged.
Time frame, technically, yes it does.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if you have 2 one-handed weapons, you can have one that's melee and one that's ranged.
Sure you can, Brian, though keep in mind we are doing dev work, so please keep it on topic. And dear, if you're still out there, you can join, but the same goes to you as well.
Gimmond, so the thing about combo
by the way,
attacks...
it's actually Giemond.
Giemond, okay.
Yep.
Giemond, so the thing about it is that if you use a combo attack, what happens is it all combines into one attack and it takes on the type of every single attack that goes into it. So, for example, if you have someone use an astral move and another person use a fire move, it becomes something as akin to a astral fire move in terms of its types, which also means that, like, let's say you have two people use astral, I believe it would then be an astral type move.
I mean,
Yes.
the other option is you can get Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water together, add a little bit of love, and get a Captain Planetas style move.
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, I prefer deforestation.
What typing would that be? Double fire?
No, that'd be capitalism.
Oh, so a Charles specialty.
Yeah, that's
move.
it'd be Charles type.
Yep.
So, I will say, as far as that goes, which is probably something we'll clarify a bit more, but, like, say you have 2 fire moves and an astral move. Actually, no, we'll say 2 fire moves and a water move that are going into the combo. If the enemy is weak to fire, but resistant to water, if it was just 1 fire and 1 water, then those 2 would cancel each other out. But thus, with that extra fire going in there, they are overall weak to the move.
Ah.
Use your combos wisely, my children.
So, Varian, just to be clear, like, you don't get, like, custom elements by combining it. It's just more like it just takes over the tags, yeah.
As much as I would absolutely love to see a system that does that, because I was a real big fan of those styles of games when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, base rules, we're not going to...
I'm not going to sit down and make it. Somebody else is
Yeah.
going to have to. That would get... I want somebody to make a tabletop version of Golden Sun, please.
Yes.
By the way, I went ahead and put in a keyword for single use. Or maybe I'll put limited use. Oh no, I already have
had
limited.
that too. No, I just had one that indicated it
yeah.
has a certain amount of uses. Consumable.
Yeah.
An item that can only be used a certain number of times before no longer working. So yes.
Okay, that was it. Okay. Cool.
How's everyone doing so far?
I'm chilling. I'm doing okay.
Quite happy to see one of my concepts not get discarded as too complicated for once.
I made it more complicated a bit, so like it even helped.
Yeah. We closed early just due to the fact being that no one was flying.
Okay, neat. But yeah, by the way, we do have fully accepted armor rules now. Brian, you could have Magna wear armor.
He might need the armor.
He's gonna need the armor.
We're gonna have to turn it inside out though, so that way you can protect yourself from you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll just give
Not
you light balanced armor, so that way it restrains your right arm as much as it restrains your left arm, and we'll put you in a nice, comfy little area.
Bondage?
No.
I'm
No, I
personally
added-
just imagining, a breastplate that is inside out, instead of curving over the chest, it's curving away, and you just tape it together with duct tape.
By the way, Teldarius, I added inverted to the list
I
for
saw.
items that work backwards.
Yeah.
It's probably useless, but now it has to exist.
Probably, but like, hey, if you have an accessory that's supposed to do something positive and it has inverted, it'll just do the opposite. So, you could get a potion of inverted healing.
Something that I was thinking about earlier and forgot to bring up.
Yep.
Do we want to have separate stats for weapon negation and magic negation? Or do we want to just have it be like physical negation takes care of weapons, special takes care of magic?
Well, I mean, I don't see why you can't have a weapon that also deals special damage.
True.
And I can't see why you can't have magic that does physical damage.
Fair enough.
I cast rock.
I cast this rock in my pocket.
I cast fist.
Yeah, I honestly thought with the way that the system was built that, yeah, physical damage was from physical things and then magic was against special unless otherwise noted.
Yeah. No, I figured that, like, you know, you could probably you could get like a lightning sword or whatever. You could have a sword that did like electric damage and like special.
Yeah,
so, like,
I do have rules
you know,
for that. Or
yeah.
word for that.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like the intent of the system, like,
yeah.
I just wanted to check and see before I started writing on this if we wanted to do that or not. I am good with just having them all boil down to physical or special.
Yeah.
Anything?
Rewarded. Do we have? So I know you have reinforced for certain physical damage types. Do we have one that's special inclined for like warded or something?
Not yet, no.
All right. Do we want to have that?
It depends on whether or not we want to use the reinforced for dual meaning or not.
You know what? Here, let's just get rid of physical and just have it be like certain damage type, and it could be like reinforced. Or do we want to actually? You know what? Here, let's go ahead and put that. What if we have reinforced be good against physical damage types, and you choose like an element, and it's good against like that kind of like element, but physical, and then we have warded where it's the special version of it.
Sure. Feel free to update the tag then.
Yep. Warded.
English.
You know what? Here, I'm just gonna put it together. Reinforced / warded.
What is the opposite of warded?
The opposite of what?
This is why I keep it
well,
around.
I mean, yeah, it'd be vulnerable. Yeah, what would be?
Discharge is apparently the opposite of warded. So I guess vulnerable is going to have to stay and have the dual mean.
Yeah, what if I just... also, first I'm going to center that. But, oh boy. Also, real quick, I'm just going to grab, like, all this and tell it all to middle align, like, on the visual thing. We'll have that.
Oh, that was bothering you. I usually prefer left, but...
Oh, no. I mean, like, in terms of the vertical align. I wasn't talking about the horizontal. I was talking about the vertical align.
Okay. Oh, don't worry, Deadshot. The Nada Dragon won't be adding to me until Darius's nonsense levels. Yeah. You're safe.
Oh boy.
Because Magna is not a dragon.
Yeah,
yes,
Magna isn't a dragon.
I'm a Charizard.
My Charizard character is more of a dragon than he is.
I know. And that's something I'll just have to live with.
We do have weakness in here somewhere. Well, we have vulnerable, so I guess
we have vulnerable.
Weekend or weakness could be implemented to Warden, but I'm not sure.
What about Words like susceptible or exposed or...
Susceptible would be great. Thank you, Stradivarian, as well, for saying it at the
Oh,
same time.
Stradivarian said susceptible? Okay.
Yeah, susceptible would be a good one, yes.
Alright.
Oh no. Gimmon did a quote for the Chaotic Magna. My life isn't that broken. Maybe a little, but not that bad.
But okay, let me go ahead and put. Let me just think. How the fuck do I even spell susceptible? It's SC.
I mean, I won't educate you, Deadshot. I'm also not technically a fire dragon. So.
Vulnerable, susceptible.
There we go. And that is correct time frame. One of the people that did it, his favorite dragon type was Gyarados, and he was like, "No, not all dragon types are dragon typed."
I know.
Actually, Flaw is a good one to add, though.
Flaw is a good one. Flaw or flawed, but yeah.
Thank you, Stradivarian. What's the opposite? No, I'm not saying that word. We need a different word.
You know what? No, I'm not even gonna ask.
I guess flawless.
Yeah, but flawless kind of seems...
Yeah, but I don't want to use the P word.
What about
one.
What about something like maybe not flawless, but maybe something like impeccable?
Here. Impeccable sounds nose up in the air.
That's fair, that's fair.
Pristine. Ooh.
Pristine's a good one. It's a different P word.
Yes. And we won't summon something from Kerr every single time it's said.
Yes.
So,
We'll use Pristine for now.
Is there something on there for granting resistance to a type?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Actually gonna be really strong
Yeah.
when you think about it.
One of the first things I created was aspected, which means that something has a mystical flare of XYZ element. So
yeah, and then we also have
aspected,
reinforced/warded.
Yeah. So if you get fire aspected armor, it's going to be better against fire.
And also if it's reinforced/warded against specific things, then you also gain a stage of resistance to it.
Yeah. Grounded for electric, sealed for poison. When we get to those areas, yes. Mastercraft.
We already have Superior.
Okay, yep. But I like the way that's worded. I'm gonna note that somewhere. Where's Superior?
Superior's up there, yeah.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I made sure I used the word aspected very specifically.
Okay, got a good one. Customized, for something that is customized for a singular individual. And so it would probably be not nearly as good for, like, you know,
Other
other
people.
things. Other
Unique.
people, yeah. Yeah. Maybe not unique, but customized is definitely, I think, probably the best way to put it.
Okay. Should we add unique as its own thing then?
Would unique bear anything good for, like, a keyword? Because that just sounds like it's probably, like, something that's, like, tier 4. Like, it's already going to be unique.
Possibly. Deadshot also suggested tailored.
Tailored is good, but it doesn't sound as good for things like weapons.
We'll leave it as customized for now.
Yeah. Customized is, like, the most, like, generic. Customized weapon, customized armor, customized accessory.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of for unique is when you're going off the cuff outside the normal keywords and you need to explain something.
Yeah.
As Deadshot said, anytime you hear unique, I think one of a kind.
Yeah, just...
I have matched already. I actually have something called twinned.
Twin weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
I also hear it called linked a lot, but, you know, yeah.
Yeah. I just
the reason why I hear linked is because then you could have, like, 3 or 4.
True. I can always do this too. Linked. Somebody else put in dual.
Yeah, the reason that I like linked more is just because it doesn't come with a cap of 2.
I just put them as side by sides. I did
okay.
twin/link/dual.
It's time.
Not finishing that joke.
Okay.
The side by side.
Duel.
There it is.
Zim, I'm disappointed.
Da, da,
Not
da,
for
da,
the
da,
joke,
da.
but for the fact that there was just a free other joke that you could have done.
Da, da, da,
And you
da,
didn't
da.
do it.
Da, 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 da,
All right.
da, da.
So, yeah.
Da, 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 da. Da, da,
What's
da, da,
another
da, da.
we could use?
Do we have charging yet?
We have the prepared one.
Deadshot, what do you
Prepared
mean?
setup.
What is this Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh no. Taldarius, if you would, please.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but I certainly do absolutely love some Paradox Billiards, Historian Roulette, 4th Dimensional, Hypercube, Chess, Strip Poker.
And while this joke goes on for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to step away.
Neurodivergent. Thank you very much for that follow and welcome.
I mentally checked back in on Strip Poker.
Yeah, Paradox Billiards, Historian Roulette, 4th Dimensional, Hypercube, Chess, Strip Poker.
So to be fair, I need to play this game. I need to play this game now.
For the strip.
Why would you want to play a children's card game? I mean, look, I know how to play it, but that's just in case I get challenged to an Ultra game, because I'm not getting exiled to Ultramar.
So to be fair, I want to play it just because it's, you know, children's card games rule the world.
Of course.
Brian.
But you run the risk of getting into an Ultra game.
Brian, what are you going on about? You already play in a Scar game.
You're right.
And no, Deadshot, we're not talking about Warhammer.
Yeah, I'm talking about Paradox Village of Historian Roulette, 4th Dimensional, Hypercube, Chess, Strip Poker.
And hello there, Dunbrine.
Hi, Dunbrine. How are you doing?
Children card games on motorcycles?
Yes.
Oh god.
I mean, to be fair, that does sound impossible, but that would be super cool.
There's a meme.
Sometimes
Yu-Gi-Oh basically has card games on motorcycles.
Nah, the more fun thing would be just D&D underwater.
D&D on motorcycles, got it.
D&D underwater, come on.
I mean, look, if you have a series out there where, like, it's Paradox Billiards, Destroying Roulette, 4th Dimensional Hypercube Chess Strip Poker on motorcycles, you should probably send that to me.
So, if your goal is to watch a game where a character in a Pathfinder fantasy setting gets a motorcycle, continue to watch my game.
Let's go.
Who's about to get the motorcycle?
Oh, wait.
I'm not saying anything.
Paint's getting a motorcycle?
Not
Paint's
Paint.
getting a motorcycle! No, Lost is getting a motorcycle, Paint's getting a sidecar.
With an adorable hat to match.
Okay,
A little
so
motorcycle helmet.
to be fair, I haven't been able to watch any session due to the fact being of the military, just taking up my life. But
My heart. My
no,
heart.
hold up. So here's the reason
Ah,
being.
betrayed
I'm
again.
having a 3-day weekend because Monday's the holiday. I have the chance to watch sessions.
Honey, my average sessions go for 5 hours.
Let me suffer.
Okay. I also have a new life goal. I want to run a game while riding a motorcycle.
Running a
You'll
game
die.
while running a motorcycle or running a game
Okay,
while
you already
running
have
one?
Bound. Okay.
Yes, I already have bound. I want to run a game while I'm riding a motorcycle. Because I've run a game while I was driving. I was on a long car ride, so I hopped into a voice chat. I was like, we're doing a one-shot. Go.
I
I'm
feel like
down.
we should have one for inspiring. I think that's a good one.
Ching, sparkle, sparkle.
I'm down for the game, honestly.
Same.
Let me get a motorcycle first, which I was going to do, but then my house decided to cost me a bunch of money.
Rip.
That is a little bit of a trouble.
It's fine.
While over here, if I wanted to get a motorcycle, I have to take a military course first, and then any civilian course, if there's any that is a requirement for me to get a motorcycle, then I can buy the motorcycle.
You know what you've done.
If I want to get a motorcycle, all I have to do is remember how to shift in the dang things, because I haven't shifted a motorcycle in years. My mom started buying automatics. Ugh.
I'll go inspiring, terrifying.
Maddie, are you getting ready to stream again?
What? Why?
I saw a game. I saw the thing pop up.
No.
Okay.
Patty cute.
Fact.
I already have retaliation in there, so we don't need that.
Yeah.
Do we want to play the good and evil game? Or do we want to leave that kind of nonsense to the side?
That kind of nonsense should be kept to the side.
Okay.
Especially considering that we already have, like, we already have, like, types, like, you could have a light-typed or, like, shadow-typed thing. And they're not exactly, like, good and evil, but, like,
Yeah. Because otherwise, vile and holy. But
yeah.
though vile could technically be taken other ways.
Book of Vile Darkness, let's go.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I just gave Era some PTSD thinking about
Food
that.
is consumed.
Because I was the one that used the Book of Vile Darkness in the game.
Hey, I was too. Let's go.
Also, we're not really having alignments in this system.
Yeah, we're not.
Yep. That's fine. Alignments are stupid anyways.
Uh-huh. And they just kind of cause a lot more problems than they solve.
Yep. Surprise, you can have an evil character in a party and nothing can or change.
Yeah. What if we have one that's particularly good against, like, someone or something? Should we call that, like, Bane, or...
Probably Bane.
Bane, yeah. Go ahead and throw Bane in there.
I was half tempted to spell it wrong to bother you.
Hey, why did you spell it Bean? Bean isn't awful.
The alignments are stupid. Be as evil or as good as you want.
I'm not going to try and unpack that thought. I'm just going to leave that in the corner.
Y'all remember...
For my end, I just got into a very big argument with the former storyteller over my characters being evil.
Which character?
The twins.
Then just say it like Asher and say it's evil.
Yeah, like, look, my only argument on the alignment thing is that I look at the lawful and I, like, go X to doubt, but it's not like I'm doing anything about it.
So the whole thing that I feel about the alignment system is like, hey, it's just a suggestion on how you can play the character, but you can still play the your character however you want.
I hate alignments because there's a lot of restrictions in them that are unnecessary, and also too many lawful good paladins play lawful stupid instead of lawful I'm good.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's just so many arguments that come up when, you know, you got disagreements about, is your character evil? Is your character good? Is it, you know, all that stuff, and a lot
That's
of
why I
people...
prefer the chaos lawful alignment, because that's a lot clearer.
Well, even that's not very clear, because law versus chaos, the law does not... It's not the law of the land, it's your character's personal...
morality.
If you have your own personal code of ethics that you stick to, you are lawful. Your code of ethics may align with the law of the land, but it doesn't have to.
TLDR, morals are a very large gray area, and it's better just leave that in the corner where it belongs.
Yeah.
After all, things that we think evil today were normal 100 years ago. And it's going to be the same 100 years from now, where people are going to look at us and be like, wow, how could you jerks do that kind of stuff?
There's one particular word that starts with an S that, I think it's okay to say. Slavery. It's 300 years ago, perfectly acceptable. Nowadays, abhorrent.
In some places. In most places, there is
Demonetized.
still slavery in the world.
Yes, it depends on area and such, but you know what I mean with that.
Yes.
Yep.
Society changes, so do moral values. But we digress. Or regress. I don't know with us anymore.
I distress.
I think me and Taldarius just exist.
Yeah.
Going in 7 directions at once.
My brain is melting out of my ears.
Existence is good.
People are stupid.
Debatable.
I mean, I like existing.
Snacks are good.
Noodles.
They are just long. They just want to be long.
I vibe.
Deadshot, don't try to keep up. We'll run off into 30 different directions again in about 10 minutes. Try to keep up with the next one. That's not to try and go back.
This is the specialty of this group. We lose everyone when we're talking about stuff. And it's super funny.
Well, me and Tildarius are still trying to come up with words, too.
Yeah, we're still just coming up with words.
You just want to be long.
And I'm just doing a Pokemon game in the background.
Long, long man.
Long, long snake.
Oh, idea. Okay, so
42.
Era, what do you think about one that is something similar to elegant versus crude, where it like gives like social benefit?
Wouldn't.
Without actually changing like, the actual attributes of the item.
I mean, they probably would, because a lot of elegant weapons that were built to look good weren't very effective, while crude weapons were very much designed to be effective.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, for the keyword.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
'Cause I was talking about keywords, not like...
Yeah. I was sitting here going at the same time because we had, like, the Mastercraft stuff or whatever, maybe. But no,
Yeah. Well,
It's fair just to toss
that's
them in
more
for
the
now.
effectiveness. This is more the form. Function versus form. The other one is about the function. This one's about the form.
Yep, if we change our minds, we can always change it.
Yep.
Do we want bracing as a weapon type?
Already had it. Brace.
Got it.
Have it like right up here with one-handed, two-handed brace, knockback.
Gotcha.
Did I put knockdown? I did put knockdown.
Do we want to include grappling then?
Sure. Also integrated.
For things like bolus and whatnot.
For things like what?
Bolus.
Oh yeah, but also but I'm talking about like integrated for like
Nope.
why. Yeah.
Yep. I was still talking about grappling.
Yeah. I thought you were asking about integrated. And I'm like bolas. I mean, oh, grappling. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can have integrated boluses. It'd be kind of funny to watch that shoot out of somebody's arm.
I know, right?
Jesus, that would be scary.
Very.
Do we want one for like hidden versus like kind of like maybe like something like obvious or?
I thought I include concealed.
Oh, you did do concealed. Yeah, I was
Yep,
talking
okay.
more about like with the opposite. But yeah, should we have one where it's the opposite, where it's like really hard to conceal?
Yeah, but what would you call it?
You know what? We could just ignore that.
Overt.
Overt.
Obstructive.
Overt would probably be a good one.
Overt will be fine.
Oh, obstructed?
No, obstructed means to block. So we'd want overt.
Yeah, overt is good.
Ooh.
I like.
Also,
overt.
once again, thank you, chat. You guys are rocking the whole names thing.
Right on.
No job.
It's a Rygon.
All right.
Oh, hey, Rygon.
Hi, Regan.
How'd your stream go?
It went alright. I ended a little bit early because my mind got distracted by other things.
Oh, that's fair.
It's okay. You can sit next to Zim. His brains might be a little bit everywhere right now, but
Oh.
They were
Yeah, a little bit over
torturing
there,
me.
a little bit over here.
I have been subject to gruesome torture, Rygon.
Oh no.
He sees things.
They
Allow me to soothe
Yeah,
it with puns.
the dragon's
Math.
torture down.
so much
math
math.
happened.
Look at the math. Because math is fun for me. Plus, I'm insane.
That's what they say to kids to get them to do math.
What?
Got any more you could think of there, Era?
No, not right now, at least.
All right.
I think I hit the edge.
Yeah, I think we're probably like pretty good for now, and then like we can just filter in more stuff when we think of it.
Cause I'm on the edge of glory.
Alright. I'm putting in a box here. Damage
Yes.
versus armor and integrity. There is something important regarding armor in combat and the order of operations for damage coming in to note. When damage comes in, it is calculated against your armor first, then again goes against your own integrity and HP. Correct? Did that sound good, or anything else I should note on it?
With order of operations being the resist, then the soak, then your HP.
What about, if somebody should throw themselves in front of you?
Yeah, I was about to say, it should be negation, soak, and then it goes through. Make sure you note that negation happens before soak.
Yeah, negation, soak, then integrity, HP.
Yeah.
Yep, as long as it's noted.
So it should probably have like just a little thing where it's like, negation, soak, integrity, HP. In terms of the defensive order of operations. Like, obviously, when damage comes in, we don't have to include the fact that there's, like, accuracy, evasion, blah, 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 blah.
And SIH. I was hoping it'd come, or that would spell out a really neat acronym, but no, it can't.
That's unfortunate.
Yay, I figured out the issue why I was like, my mic was turning on and I was confused.
What happened?
My breathing again.
Oh.
What?
You see, Brian decided to start breathing again.
That's why I got concerned.
No, so the whole thing is that because I'm breathing using my mouth most of the time, with how close my mic is to my face and everything, sometimes it sets it off, which is weird.
Ah. Your mic is very sensitive then.
Yes.
Oh man, it's like 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to go to bed soonish.
Ah. Yeah.
No, we stay up.
No, I have job. I don't necessarily like job, but I need job.
So do I. I sleep at work. What to do you?
I can't do that. I actually have to do work at work.
Oh, damn.
Well, I don't
Poor
have to,
unfortunate
but if
soul.
I don't, I'll probably eventually at some point in time lose my job.
That's no good.
Possibly, but only if you get caught.
I have a flex to pull. Nobody's flown all day today because rain. It's actually kind of sad.
Oh, it's happy.
It's sad because like the only fun times you'll have is when people are flying because you get to hear everyone else make mistakes and it's funny.
I am not gonna get I am.
Important rule real quick.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to chip damage, if the damage coming in is fully negated by the negation armor on the negation value on the armor, obviously chip damage is still going to be done to the armor.
Yes.
Do we want the chip damage to still be done to the character?
No.
No.
Okay.
Because technically speaking, like if no damage goes through to the character, then there shouldn't be any,
That's fair.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say it's almost dependent on the armor and the attack. So, like, suppose you get a big burst of, like, fire against metal armor and it starts melting, maybe some of that damage could get through because, well, you're now wearing melting armor.
Those are special circumstances for an ST/GM to figure out, though.
Yeah, this is for like generalized rules.
Just saying. I'm giving my 2 cents, trying to be involved.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm just clarifying that sounds like a situation I would leave to an ST's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always going to be special situations like that. We can't.
Yeah.
It's better to just generalize and let STs and GMs do the STing and GM. thinking. That's why they exist. Otherwise, this kind of
Indeed.
game would be a board game.
Yep. Oh, are you changing it so that way the armor like just gets 100% chip damaged? Because I thought that you were asking if it gets past the negation, it starts going to soak if it does chip damage.
So as long as 1 damage is done, I am anticipating it's still doing chip damage to armor.
Because the way that I had it, and the way that Era also had it, is that if the damage does not get past the negation, the damage going to it's 0. What were you thinking, Era?
I was thinking that if it doesn't get past the armor's negation, it doesn't apply chip damage to the wearer.
That's why, like on the charts, AHP is like 0 in places.
Yeah, so the armor would still take chip damage, but not the wearer if it doesn't pass the negation.
Oh, no. I'm talking about, like, when I was making this,
Yeah.
Because of how it was described is that, like, negation is basically just hardness damage reduction.
Yep.
So, if the hardness damage reduction doesn't get past... if the damage doesn't get past, like, the hardness of the item, then it wouldn't do anything. He's asking if, so long as damage came in, even if it's like the negation is 6 and it only dealt 2 damage, it would still deal 1 damage to the armor.
I was thinking yes, honestly.
Oh, okay. That changes the math on all this, but okay.
I mean, we can always change it.
Because, like, the whole reason for chip damage existing in the first place is so that even if it no matter what.
Here, let me look at the armor again, because 1 damage isn't going to hurt most armors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even the lightest of armors has 10 HP, so...
Yeah, well, that's also why, like, I even specifically pointed out, like, completely immune, like, in different locations. Like, that's why I was pointing that out.
Yeah,
for things that are on level, like, in order to get completely immune, you'd have to have heavy specialized armor on type.
You could always do it based on tier as well.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine that a tier 3 armor, if you don't get past somebody in full plate armor, if you only do 1 damage to the armor, just there's no chip damage in that case.
Well, no, but the thing is that we want it standardized to work throughout instead of it just being the thing.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
But another thing to keep in mind is also that like, for example, the reason that I was thinking that would be fine is because, like, we even have it on on, like, the upgrade to the brace action that you're no longer take chip damage.
Hello, everybody. I'm finally free.
So that's why I thought that it would be, like, the correct thing to do to have it be, if it doesn't get past the negation, for, like, armor or something that, like, specifically and solely exists to defend, that it would be fine if it didn't take the chip damage.
Yeah, I can see it both ways, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just explaining my thought process behind it when I was throwing all this.
Well, I understand your thought process. But we do kind of, and also hello, Rex.
Hey, hello, Rex.
Give me just a moment.
It's Magna's, like, last fan.
Brian.
My apologies.
I am trying to figure out if we should have chip damage regardless.
Well, the good news, tell Darius, with including chip damage on the armor's armored HP is really easy to adjust and doesn't mess too much up.
Yeah. Well, no, like including or not including chip damage, like honestly, really doesn't even matter that much. It was just more about clearing up because there was an obvious communication difference here.
Yeah.
So it was just about clearing up that instead of any sort of like championing. I'm just trying to clear up the communication side of things.
No worries. We can always try it. Worst case scenario, we ditch it if it doesn't work.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I know chip damage.
It's fine having chip damage go into the armor. I was just more making sure we were all on the same page now.
Well, we're not doing chip damage to the wearer.
To the armor.
It would be chip damage to the armor. I mean, it may be something as small as just a scratch of the paint, but it's still damage.
Yeah. It's dealing damage to AHP, not HP.
Yep, and just to explain time frame, while we do have physical armors that you actually wear of heavy, medium, and light, there's 2 ways in the game to also do this. The evasion score, which makes it so that way you're better at dodging things naturally, as well as the integrity, which allows you to soak naturally. So, while we don't have an unarmored or non-armored worn item yet, there is room for it, but there is ways for people that don't wear armor to negate damage just without armor.
Yeah. But also, just on an aside, in order to reduce confusion, I went ahead and just changed like the armor effects box on the digital sheet to be C AHP and M AHP for armor HP.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Just so that way people stop getting confused, like at least as much.
Yeah, I saw that.
I feel like the nomenclature is a good thing to do, in my opinion. What about you guys?
No, yeah, that sounds correct.
Cool.
I'm just thinking about how an individual with no armor is just protecting themselves with their abs.
Oh yeah.
Well, because this is a tabletop, yes.
Yeah, they strike a pose and flex their abs in the right way to deflect the blade coming.
Okay, Armstrong. Nope, Armstrong.
Yeah, of course.
Full Metal Alchemist, just...
Yeah. To be fair, I was also thinking, when you said Armstrong, I was also thinking of Senator Armstrong.
Yeah.
There's so many good Armstrong characters.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, when your name is Armstrong.
I mean, you better be Armstrong.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, there was someone that I met, and like the name stuck with me ever since because it was like this absolute twig of a person, and their name was Gunter Brau.
Pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I think my brain has had enough of this for now.
Alright, I'll keep filling it in later. I normally just let you fill in things because I know you like to write the doc, but I'll just fucking fill it in.
Oh, I will work on it later. I just want to take a bit of a break. I think it's something I'd rather work on off stream.
Okay.
Because we've got everything is straightened out. I want to work on the actual details of it off stream, though.
Oh, that makes sense.
Sounds like a good idea.
In that case, what else do we want to discuss? Because obviously there's like a shit ton of stuff we need to discuss.
Well, I was thinking switching over to doing some party animals tonight.
Yeah, I need to go to bed.
Yeah. We've got those rules down. Next thing would be weapons. I want to focus on, something. I like having one thing that I know I can focus on instead of a whole bunch of things that are like, oh god.
Yeah, it's better to not overwhelm yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
I know there's a lot that we need to discuss, but we can do that Thursday.
Yep.
For now,
brain go burr.
For now, though, thank you everybody for joining us today for this dev stream. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. They are on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, as well as bringing by your friends, subscribing to our YouTube, and using our Humble Bundle partner link. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Later, everyone.
Later.
Bye bye.